1,000, fifth through eighth, 4Gs in the pocket, third and fourth, 6,000. Of course, second, you can see on your screen, 8,000. But that's what we all came for, that first place prize, the bragging rights, and 20,000 in your pockets. I mean, this is a huge deal.
Oh, very much so. But we do have to get to the groups first before we can make it to the money. Now, everybody does get a little bit of pocket change, don't get me wrong, but 20 grand at the end of the day, a nice B-tier tournament here at Stake Pulse. That's going to feel pretty good here. Now, first matchup, G2 Aries, EAC. I know we glazed over these guys a little bit, but we can dive a little bit deeper into them, right? EAC, this is the XAB roster, full Danish squad, a little bit of an update. Fesser, their newest player, joining. I have a soft spot in my heart for this guy, only because I cast for Chicken Coop, a North American organization, and he stood in for them at a Frag Tap Reload 2026 where they got first place. Now, he didn't have the best performance, but winning is winning, I guess. And, you know, I don't want to put too many eggs in one basket, but I think EAC might be able to take this one.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at G2, right, and they've lost their last 5 best of 3s. So they're on a little bit of a slump, but I mean, this is a perfect time to kind of kick it into overdrive, right? You look at the other side, ESC, they've won the last 3 of their 4. I think 2 of those were sweeps as well. And so this is a team that's playing very, very well, coming in today confident. But, you know, you and I got a little glance at the map bans and picks, and I know we got to talking a little bit before. You know, I felt like EAC was favored here. Looking at the map bans and picks, all of a sudden, it feels like maybe a little bit of a wrench got thrown into the mix here.
Yeah, maybe. Now, I don't want to lean too much into G2, because I do think EAC is going to have this, and as a non-biased caster trying to play that analyst host role, I kind of still believe in the EAC dream. And I only say that because I look at the recent competition, right? EAC are Parkin Land champions. These guys go to Draculand. They're constantly roaming around Eastern, Western Europe going to lands. And on the other side is G2 Aries, where they're still outside of that ESEA advanced bubble. They're fighting for VRS. They don't really need to do the non-VRS online tournaments, but that's all they're really in is online VRS tournaments. So although I do agree with you, the veto leans pretty heavily in favor of G2, I still think EAC is going to be able to pull this over the line with the experience that they've garnered over the last 6 months of playing, with the addition of Fesser, and the fact that I think most of them are closer to home in this this Nordic arena.
I know you and I were maybe expecting a little bit of cash today, but unfortunately that is not going to be the case either.
Not yet.
Not yet. You know, we've got our fingers crossed and we are hoping. But, I mean, honestly, there's a little bit of VRS implication here both ways for both of these teams. You talked about EAC plus 28 for their dub, minus 19 if they were to suffer defeat here. A little bit more leeway for G2, plus 38 if they're able to grab the dub today, but minus 10 if they suffer defeat here. So, you know, I was leaning heavily toward EAC before we got going this morning, but with the map vetoes coming in, I'm a big fan of underdogs, right? My hometown football team is awful. We're used to losing. So I tend to root for those underdogs a little bit, but we potentially could have an upset in our hands. And again, with G2 losing the last 5 best of 3s, they are hungry for a dub here today.
Very much so. You can see the odds at the bottom of the screen here, brought to you by Stake. 1.78 for EAC, 1.92 for G2 Aries. And this kind of sums up sort of how I've placed these teams. I call these teams the 2.5s, right? Have the potential to make playoffs, but I don't think either team are actually going to win this tournament. So it puts them on relatively even playing fields, and I think Stake believes the same. But now, as for those vetoes, I guessed correctly the Nuke Dust 2 ban. These are standard picks for them. But again, I thought it was going to be Cash Anubis. I thought we were going to get the new map and the new map to really start Stake Pulse beat 1 off correctly. But it is going to be the G2 pick of Inferno and the Ancient pick for EAC. And it rounds out with a little bit of Mirage. Now, if we check out the HLTV stats, you aptly pointed out that it heavily leans in favor of G2. But I mean, there has been some time between these two teams playing, about 2 years, the last time these guys played together. What's really changed is the question. Inferno, Ancient, Mirage on the cards here. Do you think we're going all 3?
I'm hoping, man. I'm excited for this today, and I'm excited to get as many games of Counter-Strike as we can. So I'm hoping for a best of three. And, I think we might just get it here today because of the way the map veto has played out. And I'm a little bit shocked that we see EAC picking Ancient. Out of the 16 times they've played it, they only have a 38% win rate. It does favor G2 on paper, but, I mean, as they say, any given Sunday, it seems like EAC may have a trick up their sleeve.
They might, and I want to continue being positive on that EAC line, but the fact that they don't have a true IGL right now, Fesser stepping in, he's trying to support a little bit, but I'm fairly certain it's Becker, the opper for EAC, who's going to be making the majority of those calls. Now, an op on Inferno, IGLing as a strong voice, more or less than an IGL, with Fesser
Got littered across all.
the day. Then we can see Fesser sitting in the center of the EAC squad there. He's got the tan hat on, yet to don the EAC jersey just yet, but usually that center seat means IGL. Just to his right, our left, is Becker. That's the opper, secondary caller, maybe even main caller, depending if my information is scuff or not. But an Inferno Ancient start, I don't know, this might be pretty scary. Shooters are going to have to shoot for this one. On the other side, G2 though, these guys are probably ready to rock and roll. Jerseys on, high fives across the board here. Boys plugging in and getting prepped. And maybe that small couple of minutes of advanced prep might mean something here, but it is going to be a tough, grimy battle for the G2 Aries squad taking on EAC.
Well, we won't have to wait too much longer to figure it out. As you can see on your screen, from EAC to G2, ready to clash head-to-head for our first matchup on Stream B here today. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting closer and closer to the edge of my seat. I'm leaning all the way in for this one, and I think it's going to be exciting because for both of these teams, especially with this map veto pick, they have to come out swinging early, build that confidence, build that momentum, and see if you can run away with it.
Very true, very true. G2 probably going to get that T-side start on Inferno, as by design that faux knife round gives EAC the chance to pick what side they want. I wouldn't be surprised to see them start on that CT side. It will give the off of Becker more chances to, find an opening. SN, one of the star players over there for EAC, a chance for him to fight forward. I'm going to need to see good utility from the CT side from both these teams. I'm going to need to see banana control. I'm going to need to see them fight back the disrespectful pushes of that lower banana smoke. I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of mid crunches coming in too. Heavy pressure straight down the guts of mid to stop G2's default from working. Because it is going to be a time constraint thing. We know EAC are not favorable on a map like Inferno. At least the stats tell us that. So they're going to have this fight forward protocol where they get into a 3v3, gamble, stack a site, and kind of hope for the best. That's going to involve a lot of baiting, a lot of showing some skin, and trying to pull the G2 Aries side into the death trap that will be the crossfire of Nixon and SN. But the G2 Aries side, once they get to that Ancient, they'll get that CT side start, and it's going to be on the patience of EAC to regain that space and mid. And without an IGL, the XIGL Maze used to love command and control on Ancient. There'd be 45 seconds on the clock, and he'd have 15 plus pieces of utility on the belts of his 5 players. It would just be a heavy-handed mid-take with an execute onto either site. No one kind of knew where it was coming from. So, yeah, it is going to be a grimy affair, as you mentioned. Inferno, anybody's game. But now it's kind of the final stance here. Prediction time, Hot Sauce. What's your map score for Inferno, and who's winning?
Well, out of the last 6 best of 3s, only one of them between these two teams has gone all the way to a best of 3. So we may have a 2-0 in our hands. But as far as Inferno goes, this is tough for me. Again, heading into this before we got all the facts on paper here, before we got the map bans and picks, I felt like it favored EAC. But when it comes down to Inferno, in the last 3 times EAC has played it, they've recorded 0 wins. So I think this could be a very close one, a chance for G2 to start out on the right foot and potentially steal game one away. I'm hoping it's a nail biter, but I thought first person key, but I don't think it's going to quite get there. I'm going to guess 13-9, 13-10.
Okay, for G2?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little gamble here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm good at being wrong, right? We talk about it
Dude,
all the time. I can't stop now.
I love being wrong. I love being wrong with you. My 3% Maui Snake predictions seem to always fail me, but I have to agree. I think G2 will probably pick this one up. That 2-1 affair, it'll probably be maybe a relatively close Inferno, but I think Ancient and Mirage are going to go the way of the Dodo for G2. Now, of course, I could be wrong. It is what it is. If you are here joining us on the B stream, thanks for being here. The A stream is happening as well. It's Hotu taking on X-Clan. And a funny stat for the Hotu side, my math might be wrong. You can check me, chat, if you want. 69.3% map win rate over the last 3 months for Hotu. Almost 70% of maps played these guys have won. And X-Clan, a brand new squad, pretty much stepping into the limelight here as they exit ESEA entry and stand toe-to-toe with the bull that is Hotu. So that one might be a little bit quicker of an affair over on the A stream. So I think we have the treat here on B stream. It is going to be G2 Aries taking on EAC Inferno map 1. And both Hot Sauce and I think G2 are going to take it. What's your predictions, chat? What do you got for us? I'd love that.
Yeah, I'd love to hear chat's predictions as well. Again, because we saw EAC, we saw the odds slightly favored there moments ago. Obviously, always changing on stake, but for me, I got a feeling. Then you can see a big shout out to production, always working so hard behind the scenes. The odds right there on your screen, and if you hop on over to stake, you can use code PULSE35. All you got to do is make a $20 deposit and you get 35 back. Now, that includes logging in every day for that $5 reward. But, hey, it's easy and free money. You got to take advantage of it.
Why would you not? Oh, admin's on the stage there, the guy in the center, named Guido. One of my buddies, I know this guy for a couple of years. I was messaging him the other day, and I was like, are you on scene, bro? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm so jealous. We're just we're rocking the remote from the Eastern North American time zone, and he's there living the dream. Got a couple other buddies chilling out there. Speaking of buddies, Jay Keed, the man behind the scenes, flipping screens, production here for the 4 days of B stream. So make sure you guys give him some love. He doesn't have a Twitter, which is particularly weird, I think. But that's just me, man. Jay Keed, you got to work on that one. I wanted to at you so bad this morning, but I couldn't find you. I almost.
He's just reminding us that he's got a little more of a life than we do. He
Yeah,
likes to go out and touch grass, as the kids say, while we're locked in. And I mean, I hope that I know that one day you and I will be over there doing one of these live. But it's just an honor to be here, to be involved.
Yes,
and if there's one reason to wake up at 4 a.m., well, it's Counter-Strike, baby. Stake balls beat one. 16 teams, 60,000 on the line, and you better believe it's going to be nothing but cinema.
Oh, I'm ready for it. Boys seem locked and loaded. Everybody from EAC strapped in. Everybody from G2 as well. Final updates there, and I think that's Talk down there with the extra paper towel just in case he spills his monster. He's prepping for it, but the coach of G2 there speaking sweet nothings into his boys' ears, and everybody does seem to be locked in. It's a pretty clean looking setup too. Lots of space for the coach to walk around. Admin super present, and the boys have lots of space for those massive mouse pads. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a super low sense old man, so I'd need almost double the space. I'd be sitting next to the guy's mouse pad, essentially my entire arm stretched out to the right, because I'm right-handed, to try to
my mouse pad is 3 times that one right there. It's huge as well. I need it in my my old age, 40 and sporty, as they say. I saw a super light out there as well. I've been wanting to pick up one of those, but yeah, I mean, I love the backdrop here, just the whole entire layout, right? And that's why we say lands like this, the atmosphere is just unmatched. So again, hope to make it eventually. But as we iron out all these technical difficulties, it shouldn't be too much longer before we get rolling. As Mr. Henry Bat had said, Inferno is going to be kicking us off. Ancient will be map number 2, and Mirage, that decider. Should we need it? Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Now, sometimes LAN environments, if I remember back to being 16, 17 years old, computers are pretty close. I don't know how close these guys are. Maybe they can scream and yell back and forth. I'd love to get some banter going between these two squads. You can see the excitement already starting to brew for EAC as the adrenaline pumps and the nerves dump. Paperwork and monsters, water on the table. All sponsored by Steak. That's a nice water bottle. It says Steak Pulse on it.
Beautiful.
Jealous already. Jealous already. But yeah, make sure you guys check out Steak. $20 deposit. Use Steak or use Pulse 30 and get or Pulse 35 and get $35 deposited. $5 a day. It is what it is. 60 grand ready to rock and roll. We got more action coming to you guys tomorrow. But as I see the fist bumps coming through, admin might depart shortly and we'll be rocking and rolling. Should be a good match. Do you have a star player to watch out for today, Hot Sauce?
I mean, you and I talked about Fesser a little bit. You know, I've certainly got my eye on him, and I know in the green room we were kind of going back and forth. Tack has certainly been a shining star over there for G2 squad, this young academy squad. But you know, I'm going to keep my eye on Hattori. No real reason. You know, I love the name Hattori Hanzo. So I'm hoping that he's wielding the blade here today, slicing and dicing. But hey, we don't have to wait too much longer. Odds are on the screen, always changing at stake there. So keep an eye on that. But I don't know about you, Mr. HP. I have been waiting for this.
Me too. 2 sets of utility for G2 Aries and a fight forward for EAC and apartments to gain the information. This is going to be a pop towards Banana with a flashbang ready. Ember is going to send Fesser and Nixon in on the call. 4 pistols, 2 bodies. 4 G2 Aries members about to walk to their demise potentially. Hattori is going to be up first.
On board with Fesser. The bully with the dualies, as I love to say. All 5 on the other side, and the Stampede doesn't come in. Fesser finds the first, puts the ball down the second. He's good for the triple. Junie Nee tries to reel it back, or Uni, excuse me, but he's only good for 1. He's got to get 4 more, and, well, it's not an ideal spot to be in. No consolation prize. Fesser, that bully with the dualies, completes the quadrant. It's a strong round 1 for EAC.
It's even stronger when 3 players purchase armor in the pistol and they take no damage. That's an immediate helmet, rifle upgrade, and I just see the op get flaunted for a second by Fesser. I might have, but a 4K stand and deliver at half while G2 Aries baited straight in by that apps push. And by design, EAC pick up a pistol. 3 and 2 rifles and SMGs, light utility as well. So EAC expecting the save on the other side, and they're going to be gifted it. A potential freebie for theirs to fumble, as it is just Glocks for G2 as they play patient.
I mean, only 1 kill, no plant, extra funds just not there, and sprays already ringing down Banana here as they peel back Hattori's health down to 57. Early damage like this setting him up for success. G2 trying to be patient, maybe wanting to labor or weather the storm of some of this utility toward Banana as they sprint forward. Nixon able to find 1, but a rifle goes down. The shot from Hattori's good, but Fesser, he has been a talisman for this squad. A stone wall standing tall. Becker wraps it up, and EAC just needs 1 more for their second round. Ukes Yupe. Smoke dissipates, shot ring out, but he can't find 1, and it's another round that EAC only drops a member.
I'll make this clear for chat pretty quickly. The way that you and I cast is if 1 survives, that's a perfect round. The fact that 4 survived, yeah, it's an eco. Even better. They just upgrade that MP9 back to that M4. And as you mentioned, Fesser, the professor of Banana, finding another 2-piece. That's going to bolster his confidence. And as a secondary caller supported by Becker in that calling domain, confidence is going to be key, especially against a team like G2 Aries, who are going to have a plan on this eco. Now at the start of most rounds, chat, keep your eyes on the mini-map as it never lies. Fesser with a boost over half wall, going to play surprise, but gets gifted nothing on the other side as G2 respect that bottom Banana smoke, and EAC's early aggression towards Banana for 2 rounds pays off in the 3rd.
Yeah, Nixon's going to eat up a lot of space and tuck in here. He's got Fesser on the boost to keep an eye down Banana for first contact. And G2, they've struggled here with early entry. They're trying to weather the storm. That utility Still quite a few pieces in the belt here for EAC, and you wonder if G2 might be a little scared of Banana. They say, no, we're going to run it right back down, but it's Nixon, good for 3, and they continue to dominate Banana.
Oh, Fesser got caught early, though, on that dismantle repeak, and that does give them some space. It's good that Nixon posted a triple. Amber's here on the rotate, and a 1v1 for him. On the cards, but Shine says nay, nay. It is going to be this short slide. SN to cover from apartments. And he's patient on this rotate. The 3v2 is happy for EAC. They just have to play post and set up for that 3-0 start.
And Becker lingers on the side as he creeps toward our side, but Yupe has found SN from app site completely wide open, and that means G2 can leg it. They can drop the plant with ease. Now on a 2v2, health just slightly favoring EAC.
Ember's so slow on this. He's over at Coffin says the bomb's getting planted. Becker, maybe no comms over. Or Ember doesn't trust that the second is located on a site. Rotates have arrived, and this is a tricky 2v2. Tuck in tight, Shine. So Yupe spot the first with Becker towards short side, and it's just comms back and forth. Utility reigns to play delay, but it's Ember to find the first.
That beautiful pickup. Shine on the swing. He's got one more, and Becker over the top with the op. What a nasty display of skill. And, well, doesn't have a kit, but no problem this time.
Oh, it is a problem.
Oh, no. What do they say? Don't be a loser. Buy a diffuser. That is a tough one.
That's the problem with the op on Inferno, is it's a utility-based map. Now, don't get me wrong, every map is utility-based, but Inferno early, you need tons of it. G2 claw that one over the line, but it's going to be expensive, right? Nobody survives. They take that donut to a breadstick, and I think it's an immediate tack timeout. As you can see, the coach of G2 on the mic. Yeah, EAC. Calming it down, boys. At least SN in that failed clutch had a smile on his face as he missed the defuse by the smallest margin. So, not a bad way to lose a round if you are EAC, right? They were bolstered by the fact that they had 4 survive in the second round. They purchased the op. It didn't get saved over by G2. So it becomes anybody's game. It comes down to the mental arithmetic. Who can figure out the economy quicker, and how do you play against it? I'd assume it's going to be AK's Galil's, maybe a Mac 10 in the hands of one G2 Ares member, a little bit of speed. And I don't think EAC are going to have the utility belts to flaunt that banana control the same way they have. Definitely not, as it's 5-7 for Becker.
Yeah, well, that op is expensive, and unfortunately not clutching up that previous round. With the economy a bit busted, EAC. We're trying to work the magic one more time. They've had a great banana hold here, kind of all relying around Fesser now on the MP9, and maybe looking to get a little aggressive here.
Yeah, they're still flaunting that banana control. EAC are running thin with those belts already. SN and Nixon, the final 2 smokes. And G2 Ares at a minute 25 here, a second smoke, land, bottom, banana. They don't have to do anything. So Yupe grabs that brackets control, confirms quad clear. But they still have to clear into apartments. And expect this repush from EAC, and it's a full gamble stack. This is what I was talking about, but I was hoping it was going to be the 3v3 gamble stack. EAC 5 towards a site as G2 make their initial march towards banana control.
They toss these mollies down banana, but nobody's home, and it actually baits EAC into rotating back this direction. G2 trying to play a little mind games here as Shine toward mid, and 45 seconds on the clock. They're going to have to start to quicken the pace now.
Oh, EAC are going to kick themselves if they fumble this round. They had the perfect stack play. Becker one block flash towards the long side. The wrap is coming through. G2 pinched.
Out of the heels, but Yupe raining down from maps, picks up Becker, plant strikes the kill feed as they go back and forth in the trades. Hitori finds on Professor. He's hot on the heels. He'll scoop up the Galil, but the smoke plumes as Fesser still finds Yupe. This man is on fire today.
An absolute steal through the smoke there, and it's a 2v2 with no kit. EAC gonna boost along the Moto side, maybe. Fesser stuck in for enemy. Ooh, not ready enough.
Too good, but Hitori answers back. Back to a 1v1. You said it, no kit in hand though, and to quicken the pace, Hitori finds Nixon, who tries to bait it out and plays under the guise of the smoke, but no go.
No, those stake odds are telling a pretty good picture here. I think they closed that gap to 1.82 and 1.88 as the match actually started. And it's on display right now, right? Force our first full buy round. G2 win it. EAC's bonus fumbled with that bomb defuse. And first or second round win from G2 Aries breaks the bank accounts of EAC, but only one survives. So you can see what it's done to their purchase. 2 MAC 10s. This is not a bad place for G2 to be, because we can see the purchase on the other side is just that single Fesser Deagle. USPs for everybody else. And EAC leave Fester to his own devices towards Banana side as they get ready for a USP defense of Wrap. But I don't think it's going to come anytime soon.
Talked about being that first team to get utility in check. G2 an opportunity to do so here in round 5 as they pressure up mid, cautious of Boiler. And the AC is stacked correctly here. If the play continues to unfold this direction, we'll see if they can come up something big with these pistols in hand.
Patience here from G2 as expected. We saw them respect the utility towards bottom Banana. They didn't really pounce through it. They just play patient. They understand how much needs to be used early, where and when. And if they can steal away their nerve, they should be able to find a third. Attack about to get flashed around this corner, and by surprise, he's going to have 3 on the line.
Oh, they got power forward. Amber wastes no time, and Becker's picked up one as well. Shine. Becker back and forth, and the USP is delivering packages to the goal. Becker, the man is a menace, but Ukseyupe, the Mac Daddy with a Mac 10 comes in again. Fetzer has a chance to clutch, and this man will not be denied today.
What a play. USP's so annoying. We've talked about this many times in casts before, about the fact that Counter-Strike is a chip damage game. Like a Blink Stalker, you get dinked, you gotta fall to the back of the pack, but not today as Tack gets stapled by that USP along with the rest of his team. And Fesser, of course, that Deagle late from B finds the final frag, so EAC on an eco $700 purchase, they find a third, and look what it's done to the banks of G2. This is one of those Maui State predictions. EAC should be able to find 5 off the back of this. Should is the optimal word.
I mean, the tug of war, it continues. Still trying to get that economy in check. Becker back with the op in hand, the one-hitter quitter, and it's going to be Nixon and Fesser anchoring toward this B site here. A nice 2-3 split, and for G2, it's slow and labored. They're looking for any minor mistake to capitalize on.
And EAC don't seem to care. They're like, yep, you know what, we're just going to keep running our default how we do. We're going to drop our utility. We're going to make you fight for every single inch. I like to see here Tack and Shine, no helmets either. So the M4s on the CT side are going to shred. I'm not sure how much I like the Becker op call here. As it is the low buy, speed will be key for G2. And they start that speed up towards short.
Corey leading the charge for the Tech 9. Blows by wall. The Tack picks up on her. Good for the first. Needs a second and gets it. He's overwhelmed eventually by Ukseyupe. They drop the plant. He should be able to scoop up a rifle or 2 here as well. And Fesser tucked in. The smoke's pluming out. Becker trying to inch forward, but now they've got some important decisions to make.
That's a pretty good key word, inch forward. Becker couldn't take a single step as those smokes plumed and the hit came through. That op now on a retake. It's going to be labored as the crossfire is established for G2.
Goes a long way for G2, and there's the pincer play. Fesser steps into the crosshair, and they know there's no time now. Becker, Nixon looks to back away. Becker's found one. Uni taking out Nixon,
Becker's
so a little
dead.
1-for-1 pick a piece, and Becker, he makes it out.
Does he? Okay, Ukseyupe seemed like he knew where he was going, and a back and forth affair continues. G2 pounce. Both teams struggling with eco right now, and maybe that's a little bit of the pressure, right? These guys are used to going to Parkin Land. They've been to Draculand, where, don't get me wrong, great scenes over there. Parkin, although no longer with us, they held an extremely powerful tournament, 6 deep, but it didn't look like this. You go to Draculand, the money's on the line, but it didn't look like this. The pressure building as both these teams continuously fumble with the economy, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a pace change from G2. They have respected that banana util time and again. They've not grabbed apps control quickly. They're letting EAC kind of run amok. And as the purchase comes through, EAC not happy, but can't be upset with what they've seen so far. G2 Aries, the iron is hot. It's time to strike and find that fourth, as my 2 times in a row Maui Snake predictions failed to come true. 0 for 2 so far, bro. 0 for 2.
You know, it's just a thing now. It's just meant to be. And so I think maybe you speak it into existence. But G2, they've struggled a little bit with this banana push and taking this B side. They've had a lot more success towards the A side, it seems, but catching Fesser with Nuto on hand might just be the ticket in. Nixon, while blind, catches one. Umber on the deal, and he's good for a second. He is chopping them down.
Whew. Nobody's safe.
I mean, you talk about the tug and war, the back and forth, and these rounds that teams should win, taken away. EAC, they go through the smoke together, and now Uksei, he's getting the audio cue flash for the team, but Becker wants to fall over the top. Essen has done it with the MP9. It's another extremely close round, but he's looking for that op, wants to save it around, go back and maybe post that fourth here.
0 for 3 for me, I guess. Add it to the tally. EAC pull the wool over the eyes of G2. And again, struggling with that banana hit that you mentioned. They seem to find their stride. That opening frag against Fesser was found, but the rotates of Amber too quick, and a perfect flash allows him and a friend to find 4. Yuksei Yupe did all he could as Becker wanted to get it back to him with that quick little mantle up to first oranges, but not enough. The jumping MP9 seals the deal. And again, I'm going to mention it, the op saved over for Becker against the low buy is not my favorite. It's like getting 4 or 3 kills in a pistol, maybe a knife round. Your opper's like, yep, I'm going to buy a helmet. I'm going to buy an op in second round. Like, bro, they're on Glocks. You're about to get run over. Becker needs to stand tall towards top mid, and another unlikely miss. Just gives the information over to G2.
Going with a big green machine. Fesser caught face to face as Hattori slowing bows and now standing toe to toe. He's found the second sight wide open as the smoke plumes down the spray. Onbury had success on rotation last time, but just not able to get here in time.
First breakout round for G2 here. More than one person gonna survive a round finally. Right, outside of, I think, the pistol round where 4 survived and the conversion round where 4 survived for EAC. These haven't been clean, right? Heavy-handed for both these sides. Speed was the key for that one. G2 pounced through that bottom banana smoke for what seems like the first time. Fesser and Nixon, 8 rounds straight, pressuring towards banana. Maybe a change of pace for them this time, but they need to keep up the face, keep up the smiling face here. And this new bomb radius allows the boys to stand close. Hittori, 11 HP. No, 2 HP. No, 11 HP. 2 kills. Yeah. The 11's covered by the red on his jersey. Yeah. 4-4. Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, this is good to see from G2, right? Though they've struggled here with this banana push, and the fact that they're not afraid to go right back and run it toward Fesser, I think speaks volumes for them as well, and trusting in their confidence. They finally find the crack in the vault. Now can they open it wide?
I mean, I don't want to make any more predictions. This is a pretty nice purchase coming back from EAC. They got the utility to do something, but I think that pressure needs to change. They're going to try to distract towards banana with a jump spot of the half wall, and G2 happy as they get 2 smokes land to take free space, and Amber caught off. Uh-oh.
Man. Uksei Yupe, the fact that he's already through arches here, 125 still on the clock, and they're not ready for a Mixon Fesser. They both go down. This means that there's really endless possibilities for G2 now.
SN might be able to catch a good one here, but the trades are going to be too quick. Talk top mid. Not a deep enough check for SN. Oh.
No. Oh my, like 2 ships passing in the night.
Yeah. Jakey taking a pretty picture for us. Unimi finds that final frag, and it's just Becker's op to save. Run and hide as G2 come hunting. And is this going to be another flawless round for G2? Seems like it. They've finally figured this one out. EAC need to change it up. That banana fight not working for them anymore as G2's patience is rewarded.
They're on the
Oh,
hunt.
God.
They know exactly where he is now. Becker, good for one. Can't find the second in the op. Maybe a bit of a curse here today. But, you know, we looked back before we got going today, and over the last 3 months, this is a map that EAC has only played 3 times and has yet to record a win. So I think as we see these teams maybe letting some of those nerves settle, G2 finding that stride now.
Well, lead's nice. It is T-side Inferno on your map pick. But it is only one, and we know what's happened last time G2 Ares went up against the EAC USP purchase. Now, do EAC stay in this stack? Do they group up, or do they try to fight forward? Do they rotate out? Again, this is where maybe the lacking of an IGL for the EAC side, a proper voice in the dark that says freeze, stop, change, move, follow me, isn't really heard, right? Again, it's the Becker-Fesser show. They're going to be bouncing back and forth. And the fact that Fesser likes to fight forward and Becker's been on that save game, I don't know, becomes a struggle bus. G2 setting up for just space gain here as they sniff out the stack.
You look at the space on the minimap, gain toward that. It's only a matter of time. And with that, EAC decides to get aggressive. Unfortunately, they run into a firing squad. Shine and Hattori combined for 4, and Shine will complete the full house. G2 only drops a single member, and they've guaranteed themselves a minimum of a tied half.
A lead by 2 is going to be pretty nice for G2. Especially the way this map started, that back and forth affair where it seemed like they were kind of just walking to the beat of their own drum. There was no rhyme or reason why they were taking space, but then the individuals start stepping up. You could say you pay up to 11, Hattori 10, and an easy, clean farm fest for Shine is going to give the IGL of G2 a little bit more confidence. Round 11, rifles back on the board. Becker, glass cannon. And as G2 don't see the bottom banana smoke, they take the space for free. Minute 35 is a quick pace to grab banana control.
Becker not able to thread the needle just yet. Toes dipping into the molly. They step into Fesser. Nixon picks up a second tack, only good for the one. And that'll stifle any momentous push toward Banana here as Utility rains down to try and stifle it a bit more, but he's going to go on through. Hattori has made his way onto site. He'll drop the molly towards Push. I think he spotted him shifting through the smoke there. Hattori picks him up. You say Yupe, and now they've got a player advantage yet again.
That's a big boy. Oh.
Yeah, he might have said the same thing as that nade bounced to the team. Shine. Fast swing will find big damage onto Onber, who does eventually fall, and Becker finds himself constantly trying to save this big green machine.
I love the aggression from G2 towards Banana as well. They push through Flame, they don't care, the call is made, and they go. Again, referencing the fact that there's no IGL for EAC, and there is one for G2. A relatively long-standing core for both sides, but Shine makes a little bit quicker the calls, it seems. Up to 7 go G2. No rotate early off of the A side either, leaving Nixon quite alone and exposed on the B side as they continue their march and fight forward. Flank frag found as well. And it kind of just forces Becker either directly into sight with an op retake, which is never pretty on a map like Inferno. And yeah, it is what it is. 7 now, they win the half, and the final round comes through. Money busted for EAC, but they'll get what they can. M4, MP9's a 5-7, and still no armor for Becker, as he probably dropped for a friend.
That banana push can be daunting from the T side. The fact that G2 struggled early but didn't seem to care and continued to just run it down the grill. I love the determination from this squad, and it certainly has begun to pay off a little bit. Fesser getting aggressive. He's going to be punished by Uni here on that op, and now a chance for G2 to utilize the player advantage.
Good defaulting from G2 here. They find that first one, and they just kind of play patient and wait for that next wave of utility to come through. Hattori gains the info, but Tak and Unimi take chunk utility. And Nixon's not done with that damage utility just yet. He falls back on site. Final smoke tossed. And still no rotate from EAC, as G2 look like they want to line up for a perfect B execute, something we haven't seen them do just yet. Yupe falls back. Junimi with the molly back sight. Nades towards CT spawn as the road has arrived. EAC stacked up, ready to rock and roll.
As that smoke dissipates, we'll see the utility rain down from G2. That molly forces him back toward Coffin side, but tough to go through blindly here. Gonna have to do it together. Here comes the stampede. Floodgates are open. They power onto the side. It's on for a Nixon. Combining for 3 immediately. Yupe trying to dance through the smoke, but it's G2 left with no hope. A strong finish to the first half for EAC.
That is a very strong finish. Finally, one of the calls to gamble has been heard. Someone made the play. Get over to B site quick. They're executing, and they arrive at the perfect timing. They slide in as the flashes pop, and they find 4 frags without a trade. Now, don't get me wrong, G2 are going to be happy with that. 7 on their T side of Inferno, when it should be 7 CT side. And the odds change just slightly there. 2.9 for EAC, 1.35. Stake leaning in favor of G2 Ares for at least this map pick. Dooley's gifted to Unimi and Hitori. 2 belts of util for the T side. And straight down the guts of mid they go.
Yeah, Uni on the board. Finds the first. We see Fesser answer back, and Hitori says, kills not without me, you're not. He gets in on the fun as well. Tack posted on the site as they try to make their way out of apps, and Amber's picked up onto him. The site open, plant will go down, extra funds acquired.
Bomb has been planted.
Oof, Hitori, he just doesn't miss with these dualies. Now he's got the help of Uni. Begin to make their way up lane out on the hop out. The Glock, there's so many rounds of the mag, but it doesn't matter. Hitori and Uni unstoppable here in the pistol round.
I like the team play. G2, 1 flash and a go. Commitment, commitment, commitment. Individuals from EAC pulled to their own fights, and they don't win either of them. Up to 8. Now the question is, can they convert this pistol, or will we have a back and forth affair like we had to start this series? Only time will tell. I wonder what the purchase on the T side will be. Bomb plant, 2 kills. That's an extra $2,000 per person. Yeah, techies, an AK for Fesser as he does his best donk impression gifted by Amber. Let's see what he can get done.
Something magical here. G2 is going to start to slip away with it. I love the aggression from this young star here. Gets a little peek, fires some shots, but as that smoke plumes out, they'll relinquish the space and maybe look to head up mid here.
They need a flash. They need something to go through this. Smoke fades. Footstep heard. Fesser taking the space. Now, G2 know this, right? They understand they don't have banana control. They know they're not fighting into brackets. What they've gifted over is tons of space to allow the M4s to play, but Fesser trades instead.
Good for one. The 1-for-1 trade comes in. We'll see if they can ease forward and look to upgrade a weapon here. But Tack on the corner, and Nixon, he's ready for this. The MAC-10 comes up huge. Hitori goes down. That means the site wide open. Nixon waiting for the rest of the crew to follow suit. You look at the mini-map, and Shine's trying to get here in time.
That's a good play from Nixon there. He takes that first fight. You can see him like, I know there's only one here. I know it. I should go into sight. But he gets called to wait, and it's the right play. EAC going to play a 4v3 in the post plan here as Ascend burns a little for his troubles.
Ooh. Yeah, a little, maybe a lot. He's got 10 health remaining as the flames grow a bit hot over there on the site. But job is done, and you can see G2 now forced away to save what they do have. So it's a good bounce back for EAC.
That was a fast push and pull as well by them. Aggression towards Banana. They pull a utility. Nixon gets tucked in tight. Reaggress towards top mid. Fesser plays trade off Amber from that long push. And it causes a little bit of miscommunication maybe. Tak does upgrade to that M4. And that is something to take home in the next round. But Fesser fist bumps before the round is over, my friend. Don't be overwhelmed. Okay, fine. Frag found at the end of the round. 8-6 now as that gap starts to close. G2 Ares probably going to force buy back into this one. But as they see the EAC push and pull, hopefully they can play off of that.
Fist bumps across the board, and they try to get back on track. I mean, We knew this first series was going to be an exciting one, a nail-biter to the end, and Inferno starting to heat up. EAC tries to inch back to tying this one up, a full set of rifles in hand, and for G2, well, the same cannot be said.
Keep your eyes on the minimap chat. Posturing utility is the name of the game. Who takes what space and what utility forces a fight forward or back. EAC should be patient on this one. Get a good sniff of what the stack could possibly be, as it is a force buyback for G2. We've seen both squads fumble the bag on these low eco rounds this game, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it maybe one more time. Shine's gonna have to go massive with his MP9 towards Banana. He's a very solo spot. If he gets caught out by Nixon again, it might just be a free 7th for EAC as they continue to glaze B site.
Yeah, Shine all alone, and they're trusting in Shine for this anchor. He's scooped up a little more of that utility that was tossed on the ground to try and maybe create a little smoke and mirrors, the presence that there's more than one home. And Yupe finding SN here. That's going to be a lot of extra intel for G2, and you can see that rotation now coming through. Tori the first to get there. Shine's found two, and he's done his job. Nixon eventually gets the trade, but the damage has been done.
They gotta fight forward. EAC need to find the first fight, but Unami says nay, nay, and now it's Becker without his big green. 1v4 and a dream.
Well, had some struggles with that AWP, but on the rifle seems to be clicking heads. Finds two, unfortunately two, well, not enough. More fist bumps for G2 as they start to strengthen that gap once more.
That's a good way to win a round as well, right? Bounce back after a round loss. And stuff down that B hit. That slow prod towards mid, caught by that 5-7, gives a free rifle upgrade to G2 and just bolsters their ability to play post plant. Great flash support on that B site as well. Shine doubles down with that MP9 and gives them 9. Force buyback from EAC after attack timeout. Coach, what do you got to say to the boys? And again, there is more than a minute on the clock as they're trying to just sprint straight at the guts of Banana. Smoke plumes before they even arrive at car, and they still just try to bust straight through it. Shine ready for it all day long. Nice 9th to get posted, and that 13-9 scoreline steadily creeping up here, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the aggression's great when it works, right? Fesser seems to love it, but you got to be able to pump the brakes every now and then. You got to work the ebb and flow to try and throw a change of speed, mix up the looks, and try to keep your opponents guessing here. We haven't seen a lot from that, I feel like, just yet here from EAC on the T side. Granted, they haven't played too many rounds for their T side, just 3, but I would like to see a little change of pace here and there.
I would too. That was kind of my next point. That's kind of my my shtick here. Change of pace coming through for EAC. I think they want to grab some apartments control. Why not? Nixon getting stuck in. This top banana or top mid smoke is ever deadly as it draws distraction. G2 not even playing towards it, just smoke trading in apps, and that's good control for EAC for the time being. But as G2 lose the pressure, lose the space towards mid, they feel the pressure, and they might need to relieve that a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hitori ask for a flash peek from Shine towards Banana in the upcoming moments.
We see that Molly.
Here it comes.
Drops the feet of Fesser, and he'll be forced away immediately. There's the flash and the peek from Hitori that you had just referenced, and they'll look to maybe take some space toward Banana. A minute on the clock, though, and I mean, you look at the utility here for G2, it's dwindling away, but man, Hitori, he just knows.
It's like falling back against the smoke that was just tossed on an angle that you saw. There's certain lineups that those AKs spray through, and the fact that these guys are on a low buy, EAC need everybody for this hit. You can see the reaggress again towards the short side, alleviates Junami back towards B, and that opening frag for Shine through the smoke. Shine's on down, 5v4 as EAC speed up, and that clock starts to drain.
Shine bright like a diamond. My man bopping up through the smoke, and that just, it's tough if you're on the side of EAC. Things just not going your way. Don't blink, you might miss it. Shine to Uni-Me, and again, just a decimation toward the B site.
Oh, I mean, we're just
Yeah,
talking about the fact that
exactly.
that smoke spray comes through and just misses the mark. Hey, guys, there's a couple of lines you might not want to walk on. Brrr, destroyed, destruction. And that's a beautiful way to start. I love doing that in my pugs. And you're like, where are they? Spray through the smoke, you get a frag. You're like, okay, we're doing okay. We're doing all right. Here they come towards me as the time ticks. And G2 posts 10. And it's a straight eco on the other side. Becker, pretty far away from that big greenest. He posts a P250. And that's the only thing going for the EAC squad, is it's a fight forward. Banana and alt mid. Go hungry.
Yeah, G2 again. I mean, you can see why.
1G.
Yeah.
Welcome to land.
Welcome to land. The summit rises to the top one more time, caught in the shine. And, well, you know, maybe a chance to just laugh it off. But luckily, you've got a 4-round lead, so you've got a chance for error, and you've got people like EAC and TAC to pick up the broken pieces. 4 still standing strong. SN on the Glock looks for a consolation prize, denied by Hattori. 1 away from 1 away.
Oh, G2, a statement piece here as they enter map 1, and it seemed a little tricky. A little bit of a walk-up. Banana gets caught by the dualies in a back-and-forth affair, finally broken in the second half as they extend that lead to 5. But now does Becker have the big green Sans armor? We're about to find out. No. Galil instead. Last hope here for EAC. Loss bonus is added up. They need a bomb plant and 4 frags if they hope to purchase heavily in the next.
They'll stick true to their mantra and power forward. Becker, and he's caught, tucked into the wall, but it doesn't matter. Fly rains down. Becker, Hattori! What a juggernaut. Hattori standing tall, and Banana littered with bodies and blood. Masterfully done here by G2.
Oh, that's the worst way. You're like, yeah, we found the first frag. I catch him with utility in hand. A little fumble, but the layered defense from G2 too clean. And that comes off the back of the fact that Unimi's up, peeked lower mid, saw nothing. A little bit of a peek through apartments as well, sees nothing. He causes the rotate. Yeah, he says, get yourself out of here over towards B site. Goes talk, and he collects the final saving grace frag to send this to a 1v3 for SN. Time to play. AK in hand, low HP for 2. But that gap closing behind him quickly.
Yeah, and then still has to deal with utility here. Most likely running to his own demise. SN 40 seconds to work with. He tries to feel his way around the smoke. Popped onto the site. He has to step into the pincer play, and it's going to be EAC to find it. They double the lead. 6 chances to close it out, and well, G2, we talked about being hungry for that dub here today. They've had a tough go in their last 5 or 6 games, so desperate for that win and, well, pleading a strong case for it here at Inferno.
A very, very strong case. Again, this is not a map that EAC tends to play, right? We talked about this in the beginning. The veto, kind of surprising. G2 Aries looking to pick up map 1, and on this horrible purchase from EAC, they're going to have to do it 6 straight 10 if they want to find the victory in the first overtime.
Well, they're going to get a little sweet kiss as the shine music rains down one more time. TAC for 2, Hattori for 1, and well, the nade, the cherry on top, the Kobe from EAC, and it's a dominating Inferno as G2 Aries shuts them down. And they have to feel good. Look at it's all smiles on the stage now.
Oh, beautifully done. G2 fumbles to start, no stress. The land pressures build as EAC find a pistol and they relieve it a little bit. They say, boys, we've been here. G2 might not have been, right? This G2 Aries squad, the only land victory, I think, or land tournament they have to their name is Baltic Comic-Con, where they beat Phantom Academy. So nothing crazy to take that one home, and I think EAC's confidence was bolstered, but a little bit too much. Becker couldn't get anything done with that op. The back and forth affair on their T side led them astray, and as soon as G2 get on that CT side, well, C in gray is EAC as they go down 0-1 in the series. Now, hot sauce, how about a little bit of a break as we wait for Ancient? What do you think?
Yeah, sounds good to me. You know, a chance to stretch the legs, maybe grab those snacks. All the more reason to do the same if you're out there in chat. But don't go too far. When we come back, we've got map number 2. Welcome back, everybody, to Stake Pulse Beat 1. 16 teams, 60,000 on the line, and G2 has already toppled EAC on Inferno 13-6 as we get prepped and ready for Ancient. My name is Hot Sauce, still joined with the handsome man to my digital left, Mr. Henry Bat. How we feeling about map number 2, baby?
Bro, I'm going through the steps like a detective to try to figure out what happened to EAC on Inferno. These guys got good utility. Their pressure towards Banana is very calculated. They didn't really lose A site often, but it did come down to that Becker op. A couple of times he got caught off. He was forced back to fight and retakes on Inferno. Not your friend with the big green. Everybody thinks it's about the lines that you can take that you get smoked off. But the op is all about failure to retake on Inferno. Time and again he had it in his hand and nothing heard. It is what it is. G2 one to the good as we go to enter Ancient. And hopefully it's more of the same. G2, beautiful utility as well as patience on that Inferno side. And as they pick up the first map, you can see the odds changing at the bottom of the screen. Whoa, 3.1 for EAC, 1.32 for G2 Aries. Does that sound about right to you, Hot Sauce?
I mean, after that first map, yeah, it certainly feels like it. And now, more than ever, maybe a time to take advantage of it. Code PULSE35 at stake. All you got to do is deposit $20 and then log in every day for a week and get a free $5 for a total of that weekly reload. 35 free bucks in your pocket to have some fun with. And I mean, yeah, I say I've got to agree with the odds on this one. I was a little bit baffled by these map selections coming out here. You look at Ancient, the map pick of EAC. In the last 3 months, they've played it 16 times with only a 38% win rating. On the other side for G2, it's been 13 times with a 46% win rating. So despite losing their last 5 best of 3s, like I said, G2, they mean business here today, and it's good to see that hard work paying off for them.
Very much so. And I'm going to beat a dead horse here. The IGL or lack of IGL, yeah, for EAC might be coming back to haunt them. Now, Maze, the old IGL for this squad, had amazing command and control on a map like Ancient. He knew, hey guys, throw the utility early, standard stuff. He knew when the fights were going to happen and when to pull back. He was good at setting up those post plants, and that's something that EAC has now struggled on Inferno, and probably going to do the same thing over here on Ancient. They're going to be on that T side start. G2's utility early on Inferno CT side, great work. Fighting behind it, even better. I assume it's going to be very similar on Ancient. B door smoke, elbow smoke, followed by 3 to 4 different mollies along that catwalk lower mid choke point. And G2, realistically, going to choke out EAC for the first minute. It's going to be patience from the T side, and they're going to have coordinated explosions to take space. And G2's fight forward protocols going to be a scary thing. That 2-1 I predicted might be going the way of the dodo here shortly, Hot Sauce. You got a map prediction or a score for this one. You called 13-9 on Inferno. 13-6 was the end, so maybe...
It was close, you know.
It was close,
It
yeah,
was
it was
close enough for
okay.
someone of my age, I like to think anyway. That's what I tell myself. But,
Yeah.
you know, I'm kind of feeling that we see a similar performance here unless we see EAC mix it up a little bit, right? It felt like on Inferno, it was very one-dimensional. It was just aggression, and it works out for Fester most of the time, but when it doesn't, where do we go? Where do we pivot from that? And I need to see some more of that on Ancient. Mid control is so important here, and so if that aggression can pay off, it could lead to potentially other plays that they can, you know, make along the way in later rounds, but they're going to have to find a way to make it pay off early. We started to see them do that on Inferno. Then they gambled with the op. They didn't have a kit. They missed out on the defuse by half a second, and it just seemed like from that point on, they were slowly digging themselves in a bigger and bigger hole. So they have to make sure to nip that in the bud early and maybe give a few different looks toward G2 to kind of keep them guessing.
Very much so. Again, you hit the nail on the head there. EAC was unable to string more than 2 rounds in a row on Inferno because of that one-dimensional play style. There was no change. There was no, hey, let's get aggressive. Hey, let's play super passive. Let's trust our gambled rotates, because none of those things really paid off. There's only one round, I think, where the full gamble from EAC paid off, and it was a top mid stack with USPs, right? So a map like Ancient, again, it's going to be one-dimensional. Fight forward until you can't anymore. Make a plan to set up for that post plant. Yeah, you can fight back into it, but the favored choke points going the T's way. Once they grab Red Room, once they grab Donut, once they grab Cave Control, the CTs can't really fight back into it, so it's going to be post plants, and that is somewhere EAC struggled as well. As I see the admin go by to glaze over the individual cameras to make sure it's all good, the map is starting. Countdown underway. G2 Aries 1 to the good, 13-6, top left Inferno. Now they're on to Ancient. Odds changed again, 1.72 for EAC, 2.0 even for G2. As EAC on the T side.
Well, here we go, round one. Always keeping my eye on those bullies with the dualies. This time it's Yupe who had a standout performance on Inferno. We'll see if he can do something similar. G2. This time it's Hattori getting aggressive. Look at that mini-map. He's all the way through lower mid here, and he might just catch this donut play.
If he doesn't see the donut play, though, what information does he pass? Yeah, he doesn't see it. He's calling the rotates off. He's going to go for a quick check here. Spots 2. Doolies need to go massive here.
Oh, but he's got Junie there. He's already found the first. Uxe will be taken out by Nix, and Hattori picked up one in the meantime. They try to get over site to find the plant, but Tax back here. They don't clear the corner, and he finds Becker. Nix into Hattori. Trades go back and forth as Nixon dips his toes into the molly. Hot and heavy, rock steady. He'll shift toward the site here, too, in the back, smoke in the way. He's going to try to isolate the one, but it's Hattori on the dualies, and you can see a little bit of that frustration there from Nixon on the player cam.
That's, I don't want to call it a scary way to play a pistol, but that's pretty scary, right? You push a main, you think you got all the information, and then you only catch 2 in Donut, right? You just cleared mid. You cleared through a main. You find 2 in Donut. There's 3 more on the other side, and you simply sprint onto site. That didn't work for EAC. G2 happy with a pistol after that one as the Eco comes back. We saw a win this way for EAC. Straight Glocks and a Deagle for Fesser. But Yupe supported by lower mid because that default came through. Clean up.
Oh, he's already out here and feeling it. The confidence is exuberated on the battlefield as they all find picks here. Hattori good for 2. Tack another one as well. And just like that, G2 picking up where they left off on Inferno. But again, it's only the first couple rounds. We can't get too far ahead of ourselves as we got to wait to see what EAC can do with their full buy round.
Well, if I've seen enough so far, it seems like they're just aggressive, right? Okay, yeah, it was Nico. They want to get through those choke points. They need to add some patience to it. Keep your eyes on the mini-map here, chat. Let's watch these smokes be deployed and plume. Mid-control early for EAC, it would seem, as they smoke Donut and Red Room. Each slightly caught off. Nixon's crossed to collect Cave. Smoked. That's mid-control for G2. On the back of a little bit of patience here.
Yeah, Uxay trying to get aggressive. They hear him caught in reload, and Nixon trying to punish him. And Tori will spot one. They know that Tori's here, but they may not be ready for Shine as well on the FAMAS. And Tack shifting down ramp. Let's get taken out here by Sin. Molly over the top. Followed by the flash, and that does force Shine back toward Halls here. Only one into Donut, and now on board with Fesser as he begins to make his way on site. Timing not in his favor. Uni-Me comes up with a big one on Fesser.
That's a lot of early aggression from EAC. Space taken, but immediately thwarted. G2's individual step up and send this to a 3v3. Junimi again. A push of A main. Shadow advantage. Staples SN to the wall, and all that pressure towards A that EAC thought they had applied snuffed out immediately. Junimi anchor stands tall for 2. Post plant potentially here for EAC. They have 2 flashes, so they have to fight forward post. They might just want to slip all the way to B site, and Shine not rotating just yet.
Well, the problem here is there's only 20 seconds on the clock, so it's going to be hard to clear out B, and I think they realize that they'll power back toward the A site here. An opportunity for Uni-Me to come up with something big, but just wants to wait on his teammates here, allow them to get into position and try to make this retake together.
Oh, EAC separated. Oh, Becker first finds the second as well. Huge double frag for him, and they've isolated. They know exactly where Uni-Me is. To an extent, I guess. Time has ticked. He could be anywhere, but as that bomb patiently ticks away, it's going to be a first. Save coming through from Uni-Me. Why not? Purchase comes forward for G2, but a first for EAC. Off the back of a little bit of early aggression from Nixon towards Cave, G2 stumble, fumble, bumble, and EAC pick up the pieces.
Terrorists win.
Well, just like that, EAC will get their first round on the board, and we'll see if they can find their footing and begin to trudge through the trenches one more. It was a tough battle on Inferno, and they're hoping to find a way to get to Mirage here.
It's going to be a tough uphill battle, but good patience from EAC to just kind of piece that puzzle together. It's coming down to the individuals from G2. They can hit shots, don't get me wrong. We've already seen that. Uni-Me with a double hold towards A site, but it comes down to that mid-round. How much information do they hold, and how much have they given away? Back to basics here, though, as the purchase finds its way forward. A site hit coming in. EAC, all guns blazing.
Oh, the aggression, though. They just line up. The domino effect is full effect. Shine raining down, and Tori finds one on the back end, and it's just Becker trying to use utility, but it's, well, no go. Uni-Me finding that one as well. G2, 3 on the board now, and I'm kind of confused how they lost their last 5 best of 3s, because they are playing near flawless here today, it would appear.
I don't want to call that one an easy read, but no red room smoke, no flashes over mid, no flaunting of any aggression towards B ramp and catwalk side. G2 Aries piece that puzzle together quickly. Shine, Tack, 3-piece, 4-hold, I think, total on the A site. Gives them that 3-1 start. And it's Tech9's 1 armor, 250, the EAC side. As they look to gain some space quickly off the back of the pistols, it's going to get snuffed out by Smoke Flame. And potentially a quick frag here.
EAC's W key seems to be stuck down. They are not timid, nor do they shy away from any aggression here, as they'll pump the brakes momentarily due to that smoke. And Uxay Yupi, and then he jump across there. The spray. Uxay is good for the first and the second. Make it a third. The triple and the quadra. The aces on the card. But Shine says, hey, let me have a little fun. I want some kills too, brother.
Yeah, and this is, I love looking at emotions and faces, right? Sometimes
Yes.
you see a 4K spray down and you're looking for that 5th frag and your friend steals it and you're like, hey bro, what are you doing, right? As you mentioned, but as the camera kind of just, in my mind, zoomed in on Uxay Yupe, he didn't care. He said, great work for a 4th. Thumbs up. A cheeky little smile to say great job. He's not looking for that ace. He doesn't care about the frags. He wants 13 posted first. And with a 4-1 lead, it is EAC's turn to change the speed here, but it's aggression down ramp for G2. Oh, no.
They match it a little bit. They say, hey, we've got the ability to put the pedal to the metal too. It's that ebb and flow that I talked about. They reserve on the patience. They explode when they need to, and they mix up the rounds. EAC, they just haven't had an answer. It started on Inferno, and it's begun to spill over now on Ancient. G2, the player advantage yet again, and EAC trying to figure out what they can do.
Look at how long it's taken them to re-clear towards ramp, get themselves into cave. It's just solo poking and prodding here from EAC and a complete evacuation of the B side. G2 don't care. That pincer fully wrapping around the EAC B site hit. It's Fesser to alleviate a little bit. Finds Satori, plays trade off Junamine, forces SN onto site to plant, and he's getting peppered.
Denied away, and Becker unfortunately has had some struggles on the big green machine today. Put up a couple nice kills with a rifle earlier, but now maybe starting to find his way as he'll pick up on the Uni. Unfortunately, the 2v1 pop through the wall. Here's the swing, and it ain't no thing for Shine. 4 and 2 for him and Tack as they post a fifth, and it's a strong performance, a strong start, if you will, here on Ancient as well.
Change of pace came in at perfect timing for G2. They feel pressure towards mid, smoke towards red room, smoke donut, molly into the open, multiple flashes coming through, but the game plan didn't change. Push B ramp. It's just a little bit of a flaunt from G2 as they smoke elbow, they double molly, double nade, and they toss a flash. It's just this posturing that says, hey, EAC, don't you dare come through mid because there's 3+ here when realistically there's only 1 because that second layer exited towards donut to hold a site. And as that feint finds the mark, it's a B ramp push and G2 5-1. Another eco round for them to chew through as EAC group towards B.
And the troubles continue. Up the ramp they go, but Unity Takatori from
He's been part of the
behind.
crew.
He slips the net again, and they said, we thought that was our 5th man. Umber wavered back a bit. Atori will find him as well, and you talk about stars aligning. I mean, this engine right now is pumping on all cylinders.
Dude, that's one of the funniest things to be part of, one of the worst things to feel. You know what I mean? You hear footsteps behind you and you're like, yeah, there's 4 of us pushing up ramp. It's like, dude, 3 of your teammates are dead and your 5th friend is right in front of you. Uh-oh. And he turns around and Hattori's right there, just been with the pack since double doors. Hey guys, how's it going? Quick little double for me as it's 6 for G2 and EAC struggle continue. No op for Becker this round, a Galil for SN, and helping of utility towards mid, but that mini-map set ablaze. Space gained for EAC, but at what cost is a triple push in G2 claims ramp control.
For all 5 here, who's breathing heavy behind us? It's Satori collecting kills, baby. But Nixon. Yes.
Dude, what's happening? EAC's getting rocked right now.
Yeah, you know, I was a little bit baffled, but again, it comes back down to that map pick and ban, and it just felt like it heavily favored G2. Now, granted, there's still plenty of rounds to be played, and we've seen crazier runs happen to EAC. They've just got to figure out something, and well, unfortunately, Unimi and the rest of the crew aren't giving them much time to do so.
0 time. Straight over to the B site they go. Unimi splits the net, 7-10. And it's a 5v3 retake that I think G2 are going to be pretty happy to play.
At 45 on the clock, and all 3 tucked in toward cave side here. It's not an ideal situation, but they've got a little utility to work with. You can see those smokes allowing them to pressure onto site. And again, Upe all the way through Jaguar, working on a little bit of a flank of his own. Yudi, click of the wrist, and he finds Becker on Bertaxin, or Essin, excuse me. Plaid Stripes litter the kill feed one more time. They find the plant, they get some extra funds, but again, that's, you know, it feels like maybe completing that side quest when you're still looking for that big one.
Yeah. That side quest doesn't give you any upgraded armor. It's just experience, not enough gold to purchase enchantments either. And EAC struggling now on the T side, and again, it comes down to this veto. When we were looking at this, you and I were talking, we were like, yeah, Nuke Dust 2, this is going to be the ban, the standard picks for both these squads. And then we were kind of glazing over the fact that neither of these teams are like, yes, this is our absolute, we only pick this as our first map pick. And we kind of glazed thinking it was going to be Cash Anubis, thinking we were going to get the new and the new. But they surprised us with the Inferno Ancient pick. EAC not having fun on theirs, as it's 7-1.
I'm just a little baffled by the EAC ban on Anubis. It's arguably maybe their second best map, and we see them ban away, and so you wonder what the thought process is there. But again, they know more than we do. They were probably working on things behind the scenes, and maybe they were practicing some of these maps to try and throw a little wrench into the mix for G2. Unfortunately for them, it hasn't been the case. The struggles continue, and it's Junie Me to find the first, hack another. As Amber eventually gets the trade, they've got the site to their taking, and they should be able to find the plant, but these retakes from G2 have just been too good.
Yeah, B-ramp conga line coming through. It's going to be pressure from Shine. Maybe not. He's going to join them. And this is a straight B execute to retake for G2.
The flash. Sin, good for the second as well. Beautiful transfer. And makes it a winnable round now, 2-on-2.
Uh-oh.
Amber's able to pick up on Shot as he tries to pressure through Cave. Ukse Yupe, 9-3. He's had a phenomenal performance, but Nixon will solidify their second, and it's a round that you feel like EAC desperately needed.
Yeah, very desperately. They lose 2.5 members just going up ramp. That opening frag from Unimi just jumping up on the Tetris box there, finding that first. Not shrouded by the smoke. He doesn't seem to care, and that's the go signal for EAC. G2 fumble a little bit there. I guess that triple cave push comes back to haunt them as EAC piece that puzzle together. And they need to do more than that. Remember, they were unable to get more than 2 rounds in a row on Inferno. And they need to round this half out to 5 to stay competitive, I think. G2 Aries statement piece. Their first matchup here at Stake Pulse 1.
I mean, we talk about the importance of mid-control on Ancient, and it felt like EAC hasn't really been able to garner any control toward mid. G2, whether it's 1 or 3 members here, seem to have decisive control of mid throughout this series thus far. Nescent had a nice 2K transfer in the previous round. We'll see if that can be the single spark to ignite the spectral fire, because EAC has got to pick it up and lock in.
Nixon's great. Nixon has gained some space here. He spots the first, finds the frag. Information on 2 more. Should elicit a speed up here from EAC, but they need to get this minimal amount of utility to start working in their favor. As they patiently pitter-patter up towards mid, G2 say, let's get at her, and they close that gap, and they fight forward onto this, but Fester finds a double.
Coming alive. He had a standout start on Inferno, but has been silent since at 4-10. He finds a nice 2K. A chance for EAC to find another round, this time in a row, because they got to start putting them up in bunches here. What can Tac do? 1v3. Up just in front of him. Now the pressure out A main. They know exactly where he is. And Becker on the said step will find the op shot. Maybe a chance for Becker to start this op moving.
Maybe. He had a little bit of a stinker over on Inferno. But it wasn't because he wasn't hitting his shots. He wasn't really given a chance to. The pressure early from G2 was just patience behind the utility, plus utility of their own. And retakes on Inferno are impossible. It is a good step forward for Becker to help his team post 2 in a row now. EAC up to 3. In G2 Aries, bank accounts starting to dwindle, and I think this is something I haven't really got a chance to talk about too much. The economic game. The fact that it's 7-3, G2 able to purchase 3 rounds straight perfectly is something that EAC are going to have to mentally get over. And if they win this round, surely it's a 5th, right? Because it'll be a poor purchase. But what's the plan here? Mid-control, play the trades on B ramp, maybe. G2's aggression, very warranted, and I'd love to see an extremely patient round from EAC. As this buy time dwindles down, chat, draw your eyes top left, and keep your eyes on that mini map. But I lied, it's a technical pause.
Yeah, I think we saw EAC fighting for more of that mid-control last time, where we've seen them be overly aggressive. They just kind of chill out for a little while. They let all of that utility from G2 rain down toward mid, and then as it begins to kind of fade away, they make that pressure back toward mid. They gain some control off the back of a 2K from Fesser, and then they're able to capitalize on the opportunity. So EAC may be starting to find some things that are working for them now on Ancient.
We're going to have to see what this tech timeout does. Squad like G2 Aries, young kids, I say young kids, young men, they have to sit there quietly without the stimuli of the cell phone and the Twitter and the Instagrams to distract, so they have to stay locked in, and that's not an easy thing to do. I'm 36 years young, and I see a dog with a fluffy tail, and I'm like, ooh, dog with a fluffy tail, and I chase it. So will this tech timeout cool them down or keep them boiling? Seems like it's lifted. Issues have been resolved. Here we go, round 11. Perfect purchase for both sides, almost. Utility missing for Hitori, and with $300 in the bank, I'm surprised he didn't buy himself at least a smoke. Am I missing something here? It was tossed for mid, I lied. It was purchased.
Well, we see some mid-aggression this time from EAC, and they garnered that mid-control. As G2 doesn't fight for it this time, and already toward Red Room is Onber. Uxe, I mean, can they find a way to stop this guy? Uxe Yupe is pretty much doing whatever he wants at the moment. And now Nixon lines up the spray. Timing is beautiful.
Oh, I'll call that a trade. You know what I mean? It's not really a trade, but it is. Uxe Yupe spots more towards cave side, and he realizes the pressure stopping that Red Room commit comes through. And another wall bang here. A molly into CT for Nixon as they play distract for the Amber position. But I think this is going to be a save from G2 going into the final as their bank accounts have been eaten into. That economy doesn't last forever, and EAC post a fourth. Nicely done.
This is beautiful for EAC, right? Because, I mean, we're looking at a 7-2 previously. All of a sudden, it's 7-4 with a chance to close out at a 7-5 half. And I would say for EAC, that's doing a good job of weathering that storm. That second half, though, those first couple rounds kind of increased their importance, if you will.
I'm excited to see what the EAC utility looks like on the CT side. They have been, we'll call it rather disrespectful to the G2 utility so far. They're popping through mid smokes. They don't seem to care too much about the cave smoke. They just flash and go, take the space away. And G2 with some good responses early. Start to slowly fumble the second half of this bag. Purchase, not going to be perfect for the CT side. I think, yeah, Unimi dropped one for a friend, maybe. Or he just bought armor kit and utility. But it is the second tack timeout for the G2 Aries side. A chance for the coach to yap a little bit, calm the boys down. That tech timeout, maybe some issues. 3 10s for G2. And no double digits yet for EAC. It is what it is. Chat's getting going right now. 800 people in here. Welcome, guys. Make sure you guys check out Stake. Use code PULSE35 with a $20 deposit. Get $5 a day on login for the first 7 days. $35 for the price of $20. It's a freebie any day of the week, I think.
Yeah, you can't beat that. If it's free, it's me. Got to take advantage of it while it's around. Stake Pulse, beat one. Bringing all the action here today as we're just at first best of 3. And EAC, after a bit of a tough start, has seemed to weather that storm. They're beginning to bounce back now, trudging through the trenches one more time as they try to close out the final round of the first half. And Udemy, a quick flick of the wrist, puts Amber in the dirt. Tori able to reel back 2 more of his own, and G2 looking to close out this first half with a decisive win. A 3-player advantage, make it 4. Fesser stands alone.
Oh, Uxe Yupe kissing cousins in the smoke there. Says, I can't go forward, someone's got to be here. So he just spams, plays the trade, and it's easy does it. Fesser, 5, I don't think he's long in this world. 8-4 on the half for G2. Now 5 away from making this a 2-0 event. Very similar to the Ho2 X Clan match that as quick as it started is as quick as it ended. 13-2 and 13-1. Cash and Dust 2 Ho2 dominant as they only lose 3 rounds over 2 maps to the Swedish X Clan.
Yeah, and that's something that you had kind of alluded to before we got going today, how well Ho2's been playing, and certainly a favorite here in this tournament. So doesn't surprise me that they open up the day with such a dominating performance. G2 trying to channel some of that themselves here.
Important pistol for EAC. It's a good start. Nixon through the smoke. Understands it's going to be a donut split, so the A main pressure applied for EAC, and they're going to set up for a post play here. Maybe not even.
They're going to run right into the crosshair of Becker and Fesser on the dualies. We'll pick up one as well. Potentially this round on the cards here for EAC as Becker gushed down to 29, and they have to back off a bit. There's the cap shot. Amber on the doilies, good for 2, and just like that, EAC will start to chip away at the lead.
Let's see how clean this conversion can be. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on the minimap. I want to see what early utility is tossed from EAC as a confirmation for how well they're going to play. Now, of course, it doesn't really mean too much if you get run over by the Glocks, but there should be some early util out. B doors and elbow, mollies to boot with some baits to support. G2 should be taking heed of this. Look at that minimap erupt in flame and molly. A little bit of a missed molly towards the catwalk side, but it doesn't matter. Nixon closes that gap. Fesser's fight forward on elbow is clean for the first, and it's going to come down to a Becker A-site hold.
Amber gets here just in time, though, as the spray comes out. Becker able to find 2 with the FAMAS. Amber says 2 as well, and now EAC within 2. Striking distance is upon them, and again, it's kind of going to boil down to these full buy rounds. What can G2 do once they've got rifles in hand?
Now, we've seen EAC now throw good utility, right? Yeah, they missed that catwalk molly. G2 was not there to notice it, so no harm, no foul. Within 2, those odds change to even, 1.85 for either side. Stake, unable to pick a map winner. Can you? Let's go back towards the A-site march. G2, full execute on the cards. That utility reigns supreme for EAC. Space game. Makes them wary of this A-site. And Becker, from a distance with a FAMAS, just patrolling. Late catwalk take for Nixon, too, is a little bit concerning for me because that mid-smoke to fade. Jaguar as well. Ooh, you grab this space early, so they do it. Okay, good. EAC complete the default, hold the space, and it's G2 to make the next steps. Minute 15, new smoke towards bottom mid. Means G2 can't really do anything until about 45 seconds, and unless they pop through this smoke with a good timed flash from Shine.
And there it goes. Asking you shall receive from Shine to attack, and now Hattori as well. Line them up, knock them down. 2-player advantage, Sin. Creeping forward, MP9 in hand, Uksei Yupe. Hot with utility in hand here as he's maybe trying to create a bit of a distraction. And Molly's plumed down, and Tack says, I'm going on through. Onto the site, the spray, it's no good. Sin finds him. Uni. Trade is beautiful. Sin last stand on the site, and he's making a hell of a stand, but it eventually falls to the wayside. Fesser on FAMAS needs a 3v1 clutch now. Plant does go down the spray, the swing together, and G2 will solidify an important round.
That's something that EAC was unable to do on their T side. Play patience and coordinate hits through smoke. It seemed like that second wave of smokes from the G2 side when they were CT caused a little bit of disruption for EAC, and they try to pounce through. G2, they don't care. They're going, boys, there's going to be 55 seconds on the clock and you're out of utility. We'd pounce right before that smoke fades, catch you with your pants down, open up the B site, and even pushing through mollies to find that 9 on the board. As EAC should come back with a purchase, but at what cost? G2 know that they can play patient, right? The start of the round, first 5 seconds dictates the first minute. And that's pretty much what we just saw there. And G2 flipped the script as they popped through a smoke off a beautiful flash timing. And then they elicit a response out of that ramp push and just play trades all day. Fist bumps from the coach there saying, good work, boys. As designed. 69 is the score line. And I hopefully we can get a nice 6-7 in there later, you know?
Oh, yeah, the kids are dying for it, bro.
Dude, I am a kid. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know it. You know, we might be old at heart here, or in mind, but young at heart.
I'm old at heart, too, bro.
There you go. In the back, Becker. Breaking the back of Uksei Yupe here to bring it back to a 4v4. Fesser looking to lock down the site. And as the utility comes over the top, he won't bat an eye. Hattori tucked in toward Donut here as he'll be glazed over. Fesser, 30 health remaining, and they'll put their mind at ease just a bit as things slow down.
Good response from EAC to lose mid-control like that. They just kind of fall back, block the choke points, right? You lose mid-control, you know it's not just one person, so you drop a smoke or a defensive molly, and you have a 1v1 on the opposite sides of the map. They stand tall for 2 and maintain that space. Amber tucked in towards B. He controls a lot here, and EAC want to relieve the pressure with a little poke towards mid. I think they got a tether off of the Amber find here. Shine sends him back, but that's information gain. Spots a second towards top mid. And as he throws a little NA-style nade, bomb is spotted towards A. Professor, calling from that primary, secondary IGL position, calls the boys to bear over towards A site.
Yeah, looked like he wanted to tuck that molly in red. Saw a couple members there. Maybe got a big scare. Shine to Heston. Now Umber and Uni the spray through the smoke, but Umber comes barreling through to find it. Shine. Umber 36 versus 84 health. 8 seconds on the clock, time ticking away, and Umber playing whack-a-mole over here. Peekaboo, I see you. It's a shallow grave for Shine, and EAC tries to claw their way back in it.
Huge commitment to fight through that smoke on that bomb tap. They understand one set of hands are busy. How many can be fighting forward into this smoke? And they play trades. Amber 1v2 to finish it and post a 7th, and now it's G2 with the economic struggles for the first time in this map. What can Glocks do? This should be the heavy fight forward for EAC as they read the bank accounts as well as we do. These are all seasoned veterans of this game, even at the young age of 17, 18, 19 years old. Attack timeout's now lifted. Buy time soon to expire. And this is another confirmation for the EAC side. Does utility work? What have we tested in scrims against Ecos? What's the fight forward protocol? I wouldn't be surprised to see them give cave control, fight heavy 3 into mid, and just dump utility towards B ramp. Eyes on the minimap chat, you know the name of the game. Call me a liar, 1 towards mid for EAC as they play 2-1-2.
Yeah, I think they just listen to you because they want to keep your 3% Valley Snake within. Filing on the site here, Essen, Opera, and Nixon all prepped and ready. It's 4 kills and sweeps the section. Say Yupe on the MAC 10 finds one on the way out, but 1 is all they'll get, and now it's EAC who's within 1.
Yeah, good enough, EAC. I mean, the mid fight would have been just as good. Don't get me wrong, but within 1 now, EAC showing what makes their pedigree on the CT side. Eco territory for G2 might be in a tie score line at 9, and Mirage doesn't seem so far away now for EAC. That 7-1 lead G2 garnered on their CT side, snuffed quickly as the flame has been put out by the EAC M4.
That's why we love Counter-Strike, the back and forth, the tug and war, or the tug of war.
Tug and war, same thing.
Yeah, same difference.
Yeah.
Words, they're hard.
Yeah.
Umber will try to hide back in. He's got nothing to play with here, and they all swing together. But Tack, the Deagle Demon unleashed. Fesser reels one back as the spray rings out, and who else but Uxe Yupe? The Deagles coming up with a couple big takes here. Fesser will find the final 3, and just like that, you'd called it, Henry. We've got ourselves a tied game.
I mean, second easiest call of my entire life, right? Against a little Deagle Eco, EAC ain't gonna fumble that one, right? Of course not. Never. Not in a million years. 9-9. Let's go. They do lose 2 in the process, which is fine. You can see Nixon, their emotions riding high a little bit here, and they look to gain the lead. But this is a G2 purchase that is going to have some strength to it. Red Room going to get smoked. Jaguar as well. It's smoke and fire across the mini-map here as posturing continues. Heavy volley on Yupe down to 12, and Ember's heard this.
Oh my. Hitting him with a chalk outline as he sprays over the left and right shoulder. Becker is there to pick up on the Uxe Yupe though, and retain that player advantage here for round 19. Look at the aggressiveness here from ESC too. They're very far toward Donut Jaguar as well. And this play's coming out just a bit off the mark. Opera's gonna eat all of that one.
Well, now he can't really stay to play in this tight choke point. He does anyways. Oh, Unami's nade marks. Next up.
Chef's kiss as he serves it up. Uni steps in, finds that one through the smoke as well, and all of a sudden he turns from a 5v4 to a 4v3. Make it 2.
Uh-oh, rotates off A site are being heard. Heavy footsteps for Fesser as he disengages to Red Room. Smokes it across and he understands what's in front of him and he finds the first frag. Hot on his toes. But it comes out to Becker and he's been isolated. Back towards B goes the bomb and G2. Look to post 10. Easy does it, boys. I saw someone in chat say the score was going to be 10-9 and everyone calling him 3-2-2. I don't think so. It's a pretty easy scoreline to guess at a 9-9. It's got to be 10-9 next, right? So
Yeah.
let's keep it humble, chat. Let's have some fun and just watch the game in front of us unfold. Oh yeah. I mean, I
What comes
love it.
after 9-9?
Oh, 8-9. Oh no.
We've gone back in time, my friends.
Ah, it's the flux capacitor. No one gets it except us because we're old.
Yeah, we're just back from the future, baby.
So I wonder if there's any old people in chat. They're like, I'm 24. I'm old. Oh yeah. For
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
200 years ago, 400 years ago.
I've got the
1,000
locker with the
years ago.
tennis balls on the bottom.
Yeah, tennis balls are worn out, bro. You're on your second set.
EAC might need a set themselves if they can't get through Ancient here. G2 trying to shut it down in 2. See if they can break out the brooms here as an early
What is this
explosion
rotate?
leads to a little bit of a lull now.
What has caused this rotate? Becker's all the way off Red Room. Gap exposed. It's Fesser on the other side with 58 HP. Okay, EAC, you fight down B ramp and change the pace. But Red Room stays gained for the opposite side. And Hattori clips the wings of Fesser. Vixen. Deagle. Nay.
Oh, they're not ready for Tack to be tucked in, though. He's good for 2. SN finds Hattori, but look, 12
Bomb's still there.
health on the other side. SN still finds Tack. Uni creeping forward, the flick is there, but Becker just playing so close. It's a job well done here for EAC to solidify the round, and it felt like G2 should have taken that one. I'm not exactly sure where it fell apart.
They got the frag and CT spawn on Fesser, the A site anchor. They didn't see the op, so they're wondering where it had gotten off to. And G2 isolating, but couldn't find the information quick enough to rotate back towards the A site. It seems so open. They'll go back, they'll watch that round, and they'll give their heads a shake. That's one of those where, like, your coach is going to write it down. During the VOD review, he's going to go, okay, guys, round 20. Let's talk about this. What happened? What was the mid-round information? Close your eyes and tell me what you think the minimap looks like. Right? And they'll go, at this time, I thought it looked like this. They'll look at the minimap and they'll go, why did they rotate 4 towards the B site with a minute 20 on the clock? We had only just grabbed mid control. It was a weird rotate for EAC, but again, those gamble stacks that didn't pay off on Inferno except one time finally come forward. And EAC, I think, take the lead here. Yeah? No, tied up at 10. Yeah, tied up at 10. There we go.
Yeah, that's what comes after 9-10.
Yeah. Chad, help me
Where was
out.
that guy in chat when we needed him, bro?
Where were you? What comes after 9-10? The team with 9 wins, what do they get? Another B-side march for G2 as they're going to sit behind this smoke. Hattori, respectful on the other side, says, no, EAC, we hear you. We hear you, Amber. MP9, pack a punch, going to be making some money here, but the shine flash might be perfect instead. SN, loud on his approach. Flash. Yoink.
Flash and the run through. Uni to find the first down. Hattori, Nixon, he needed more than one, but he's denied, and Uni finds 2. Make it a third, actually. He picks up the triple amongst the beautiful chaos, and EAC is left scratching their heads going, what the hell just happened?
I love it. G2, sometimes the simplest answer, I'd say sometimes, most often the simplest answer is the right answer. Shine says, boys, we're going to respect their B door smoke, and when I call it, we're going to flash. Provide me information as you see it, and that might increase the speed of my flash. Hey, they're jumping over boxes. You guys ready? Here comes the flash. 3, 2, 1, pop and a swing. 4 unanswered frags. Oh no, until Becker left alone and saving the op again. Scenes of Inferno flashing before my eyes as G2 are now, like you like to say, 1 away from 1 away.
Yes, sir. And, you know, it's good
no.
to see Becker hitting some of these op shots, though. We saw him struggle a little bit on Inferno, but you talked about it. Just really wasn't getting the good opportunities, the good lines, and things just really not going his way. So beginning to step it up when it matters most. But honestly, you know, you look at that score line and there's just not much margin for error. If there ever is a time to lean forward and lock in for EAC, it is now.
It has to be. They're at the bottom of the barrel for their bank accounts. Loss bonus is not adding up. And G2 have everything they want. Unami gonna put a little sting, a little salt in the wound with that M4 as they head straight up towards the understaffed B site.
Utility so good from G2.
Walks them in.
5-7 bring it out, but SN can't find the kill. Hack does get the pick, and Becker's gonna let the ops in with the smoke, but Dixon, he powers through, and he's found 3.
No way he escapes too, right? And taking a final frag to find a 4th. Hitori 1v2. This seemed all over for G2, but now the young star needs to piece this one together, and they know where he is.
I mean, Nixon may just have single-handedly saved the day. Ace on the cards. Nate almost claims his life. Sprays just a bit off, and they continue to battle back and forth here.
Counter-terrorists win.
There's a
little
moment
shocked.
of silence right there for the
Yeah.
G2 Ares post plant. As a Nixon, 4K. Look at the bottom left of your screen. This is Nixon. Not a single emotion off of that. This guy is frustrated beyond belief, and he needs to bounce out of it. That was a beautiful play by him with a flashbang set up from that B site anchor who says, boys, we're stuck behind this molly. How can I support? Flash us in. Here we go. And they stave off disaster for the time being. And now we're going to go the distance in regulation. All 24 required. And the purchase, not quite perfect for either side. Missing utility for the G2 side. MP9 for Amber.
Nixon maybe using some of that frustration to fuel the flame as he has a stellar round in round 22. See if he can find back-to-back here. EAC looking to get to match point before their counterparts, looking for an opportunity to crack their way into Mirage and extend the longevity of this series.
They smell a weakness over towards B site, and if they can cross their T's, dot their I's a little bit quicker, set up for that post plant, expect that refight forward from EAC that's worked time and again, they might be able to close this out. But that heavy rotate for EAC back towards B site is on the cards. Becker called the bear, rotates our timely, but EAC are going to be forced forward by the flames.
Onto a cave is where to find Amber, and they're aware that the ramp pressure is coming. SN's only good for the first is Shine.
Do it again.
Nixon, he's going to go on through, but Tack is ready this time. He says, fool me once, shame on me, but it ain't happening twice, so don't even sweat it, Fesser. Needles one back at Tori now, and it's just one kill away from map and series point. Becker 17 and 13, and well,
no, go for it, Becker. How many times can you save in a best of 3 the first 2 maps? This guy has the clutch bone.
there's some sentimental value in that op, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess he's had it since round 2. Bro, come on, go for it. You had the chance there. First frag was found. You paid 27 HP. I think they know it too. But it is what it is. G2 Ares match, series point. One chance to close it out. And as they seem to love B site, this might be the change of pace that we're looking for from G2. Straight A site hit hot sauce. What do you think? What do you think the odds are of that happening?
I couldn't agree with you more, man.
Let's go.
You know, I was feeling it last round. Honestly, I kept thinking they keep going toward B. They keep going toward B. But, you know, it was EAC that won that previous round. So they run it right back down again. And I think it works out in their favor. But I'm with you. I'd like to see something maybe toward the A. And it doesn't mean they can't start out heading toward B, drop some utility, create some smoke and mirrors, bite out an early rotation from EAC, and work that magic one more time.
Yeah, that's why I love keeping my eyes on the minimap too. Look at that CT smoke towards lower mid. Oopsies. Not noted by G2 though. Becker strikes first. SN. Get behind the smoke for the time being as G2 try to just posture and take space. They're gifted quite a bit as mid has been subsided for now. It's Amber, 5-7 against Shine.
Saved off. Putting in work here. Nixon and Amber will pick up 2 as well. Shine. One on the way down, and Hattori on the back end gets another. Now in a 2v3, but Becker hanging on by a thread. 13 health. Uni Needs to find this one, and he does. Nixon, the next to fall. Molly will rain down, but look at the mini-map. It's coming through mid.
They might hear this too. That might have been a footstep. Is Hattori ready for this? It seems like they are. They're pushing through the CT side. The bomb maybe not planted for this long side. Single flash for Hattori. Smoke nade flash for the CT side retake, but how do they set it up? They're expecting aggression back into this. No kit either, so they have to be timely on their approach. G2, chance to close this out right now.
We saw the no-kit haunt them on Inferno as well, and it was Becker on the off. Wasn't able to solidify the round. Spray from Uni, and Hattori comes in sweet succession. It's sweet chin music all the way around. G2 gets it done. A little bit of a closer match this time, 13-11, as it comes down to the wire. But again, for me, Mr. Henry Batt, it comes down to the map pool.
I agree. That map pool definitely leaned in favor of G2. Again, trying to pick the maps for these tier 2.5, tier 3 teams and saying, yes, this is the one they will pick. A little bit impossible. And G2, I think, felt the same pressure that we were kind of talking about in the green room, kind of talking about on the pre-show, about how EAC on paper, on VRS, are a step ahead. G2 constantly in these online tournaments, playing some good opposition, but never really getting those LAN reps. EAC deep in the LAN reps, but at the end of the day, the better team comes out ahead. G2 2-0 over EAC in the opening scenes here, and they join HO2 in the upper bracket. And that one's going to be coming up shortly here. It's going to be X-Clan taking on EAC right here with the Dream Team on the B stream. Hot Sauce, what do you got to say, my friend?
Hey, again, you got a little time to rest, so you can check out those odds over at State Code Pulse35. All you got to do is deposit $20. You get 35 by logging in every day, $5 a day for those 7 days. It's a great time to take advantage. Check out those odds for upcoming matches. But again, don't go too far, because when we get back, we've got more Counter-Strike action.